The RMS Titanic, a name synonymous with both opulence and tragedy. A ship, they said, that even God himself couldn't sink. But the icy depths of the North Atlantic told a different story. A story of human ambition colliding with the unforgiving power of nature. The Titanic was deemed unsinkable, but history proved otherwise. Today we uncover the big mistakes that led to its tragic end. We journey back in time to that fateful night in 1912, to understand how a series of seemingly small oversights could culminate in such a monumental disaster. She was the largest ship of her time, a majestic feat of engineering adorned with every luxury imaginable. But even the Titanic, in all her grandeur, harbored a fatal flaw. Actually, several. Deep within the hull, a network of watertight compartments promised to keep the ship afloat, even in the event of a breach. But these compartments, designed to contain flooding, didn't reach high enough. Like a bathtub with walls too low, the water, once past a certain point, could spill over from one compartment to the next, dooming the ship. And then, there was the steel. The very material that gave the Titanic her strength. We now know that the steel used in her construction was brittle by today's standards, susceptible to fracturing under stress. Especially in the frigid temperatures of the North Atlantic, this weakness would prove critical. Imagine, if you will, that fateful impact, the ship's starboard side meeting the iceberg's jagged edge. Instead of deflecting the blow, the steel plates buckle and rupture, allowing icy water to surge in. The North Atlantic in April, a sea of shimmering darkness, its beauty masking a deadly secret icebergs. On that fateful night, the Titanic's wireless operators received multiple warnings, messages crackling through the airwaves, speaking of ice fields ahead. Some of these warnings were relayed to the bridge, but they were met with a sense of complacency, a dangerous overconfidence in the ship's invincibility. Perhaps the Titanic's captain, under pressure to make record time, downplayed the warnings, believing his ship could outrun any obstacle. Or maybe, in the grand scheme of things, the warnings seemed insignificant, easily dismissed amidst the social gatherings and lavish celebrations happening on board. Whatever the reason, the whispers of danger were ignored, drowned out by the rhythm of the band and the clinking of champagne glasses. But out there, in the vast expanse of the ocean, destiny was writing another story. Imagine this. A ship designed to carry over 3,500 souls, equipped with lifeboats for just over half that number. A miscalculation of catastrophic proportions, born from a belief that the Titanic, even if damaged, would stay afloat long enough for rescue. But as the reality of the situation set in, a chilling truth gripped the passengers and crew. There wouldn't be room for everyone. Panic ensued as mothers clung to their children, husbands made impossible choices, and the true cost of this oversight became horrifyingly clear. The lifeboats, lowered into the dark, churning waters, offered a chance at survival, but only to a select few. The cries of those left behind, a haunting testament to the Titanic's fatal mathematics, a numbers game with fate that would forever stain the ship's legacy. The Titanic was a marvel of speed and power, built to conquer the Atlantic, but in the icy waters of that April night, speed became her downfall. Despite receiving warnings of ice, the Titanic maintained a high speed, a decision that would have dire consequences. Perhaps it was the allure of setting a transatlantic record, or maybe a simple misjudgment of the danger that lay ahead. Whatever the reason, the Titanic steamed ahead, unaware that she was on a collision course with destiny. Every knot of speed, every revolution of her mighty engines brought her closer to disaster. The vastness of the ocean, which had seemed to promise endless possibilities, now became a trap, closing in with each passing moment. As the icy Atlantic waters rushed in, the unsinkable Titanic began her descent. Panic and confusion reigned as passengers and crew alike struggled to comprehend the unfolding disaster. Evacuation procedures, ill-prepared for an emergency of this magnitude, crumbled in the face of fear and uncertainty. The band played on, their music a haunting soundtrack to the chaos, a desperate attempt to maintain order amidst the growing terror. Distress rockets lit up the sky, desperate pleas for help launched into the darkness. But the nearest ship, the Californian, lay just out of reach, her wireless operator off duty, unaware of the unfolding tragedy. In those final, agonizing hours, the Titanic, once a symbol of human ingenuity, became a stage for unimaginable human suffering. The Titanic's story is a haunting reminder that even the grandest of creations are not immune to the forces of nature or the consequences of human error. The mistakes made, from design flaws to ignored warnings, serve as a somber reminder of the importance of vigilance and preparedness. The Titanic story is a tragic lesson in human error and hubris. May we never forget the lessons learned on that fateful night, lessons etched in the stories of those who were lost and those who survived. For in remembering, we honor their memory and strive to navigate the future with greater awareness, humility, and respect for the power of the natural world.